welcome.
How's it going?
Good. It is always good to be here in the Mojo Whiskey Bar.
I know. I think here soon you got to see the sneak preview, but we got a new studio, I guess we'll call it. Yeah. My wife and I have been renovating a house next door that eventually we're going to move into, and my wife went crazy in a good way on designing the whole room in the basement of the house, and it's going to be the home base for Mojo Whiskey Bar. So
it's going to be a nice spot.
It's going to be all right. It's going to be comfortable,
nice
cozy. Yeah, it's like designed sort of with this in mind. This will be one of those things that it was designed for. So it'll be fun to do.
Yeah.
That. Well, in recent videos, I think I don't know if we struck a nerve, but I think I feel like people really want to hear more about budget whiskeys, and in fact, the last couple videos we did, I shared whiskeys that I think you should just keep in your stash, and I think almost all those, maybe with an exception, would be classified as budget.
Yeah,
and you did the same.
I did the same.
And so, let us know what you think about that. But I thought, we've all bought a bottle that, maybe after we got it and we've tried it and tried to give it a chance, it just isn't coming around.
Correct.
And
yeah,
I have 7 bottles here that I don't think you should waste your money on. And so some of this is going to be controversial. I'm just going to apologize in advance to Jamie. So if you got hate mail and comments, you can direct them toward me. This is my opinion. But let's start with, I think, the no-brainer. And I don't even know why there's this. Like, I'm surprised it's not fuller than this, but this is the Willet Bourbon pot still. I always call it the genie bottle for probably obvious reasons. Yeah. I got to tell you, the bottle suckered me in on this one, and I was really sad about what was inside.
If it wasn't for the bottle, in my opinion, you're looking at a $10 drink in there.
It's not good.
There's just,
but some people love it.
I love it, and that's great.
If you love it, go
that's
for
awesome.
If you love it, let me know. I'll get this to you somehow.
I just cannot get through. And
I can't. I've had this for probably a good 2 years.
Yeah, I've tried and I've come back and I'm like, oh God, I just can't get through it.
And it's funny to me because I think the last time I was in Total Wine, they had cases of this stuff. And in fact,
they mass produced this stuff.
And the guy from Total Wine, there were some people in the aisle too, and he was actually trying to pitch people on how good this is. I didn't burst their bubble, but I don't find it to be that good. So I think most people that I've talked to that have had this tend to agree this is not a very good one. So
if you like the bottle,
I'll give you this bottle.
I was going to say, there's a lot of people who would probably give you a bottle.
Yeah, I'll give you what's in it. You can have it, man. I don't really need it. So, all right. So the next one, I'm trying to figure out which feathers to ruffle next. All right, let's go this way. Good old Whistle Pig. Where do you start with Whistle Pig? All right, so my first issue with Whistle Pig is I think their bourbon is fine and their whiskeys are fine. My issue is their price. They're always so damned expensive, and I don't understand. Now, I think you can get some, like I don't remember what I paid for this. This is their 6-year, and I think it's probably a little bit more reasonable, but they're at that price point, there's stuff that's way better.
You hit it right on the head to me. The Whistle Pig, their prices, and I don't care if it's bourbon or rye, are way offline.
They are for what's inside. They are not on the mark.
I don't even understand it, to be honest with you. I mean, it's so far off for me, and I have some bottles at home. I mean, I think I have this one at home. Yeah, but it is. I don't know if I'd buy it again.
I'm probably not going to buy a Whistle Pig again
because the price point is just, it doesn't match what's inside it.
No, it does not. And I think that's probably all we have to say about that. Yeah. All right. See, now I'm going to start ruffling feathers. All right, let's try this one. All right, this one is Elmer Teely, and this is a Buffalo Trace product, and I think it's 90 proof.
You've had it a while, haven't you?
I've had this a long time.
Yeah, that's what I thought you did.
And truth be told, there's nothing wrong with what's inside. It's a nice, smooth, good sipping whiskey. The problem is the price. And its availability. You can't find this.
No.
And in fact, goes back to, I think I was sharing with you when I kind of got into bourbon collecting or building a stash or whatever. We were down in, I think we were down in Louisville, and we had a couple different stores, and they had this, and I'm like, oh wow, that sounds cool, and whatever. And you learn Elmer T. Lee used to be affiliated with, I think, Buffalo Trace back in the day. He was one of the master distillers or something like that. And you never see it, and I don't remember what I paid, but in hindsight, I know I paid too much. The funny thing to me is, supposedly Elmer T. Lee, the way he liked to drink his whiskey is mixed with Sprite or 7-Up.
Yeah.
So if you're paying that much and you're going to mix it with Sprite or 7-Up, that's a head scratcher. So again, what's inside is fine. It's just, I don't know why it's hard to find, and I don't know why it's so damn expensive.
Well, and I think what happens with something like Elmer T. Lee here, the price is driven by the stories,
the legend,
and then people start chasing the legend.
Yeah.
And then you start buying as soon as you can get it off the shelf, and then you get it home and you're like, oh, what am I doing here? Yeah. And then the next band of bourbon buyers come behind, they buy it all. Yeah. So we've bought into the legend, we've bought into the hype. Yeah. And to John's point, it's not terrible to drink.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's just what you have to go through to obtain a bottle.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's not worth it. I mean, if you can find an MSRP, I don't even know what MSRP on this, but if you're spending more than, I think this is a $40 bottle, maybe. So don't pay more than that, but you probably will. Yeah, all these are all going to piss somebody off, and I'm okay with that. All right, so next one. This is just the Basil Hayden Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Proof on this is, I think it's probably 90-something,
80 proof.
80 proof. Yeah. So, okay, there's knock number one.
Yeah.
But I do know people that freaking love Basil Hayden. Yeah. I just don't like it.
I'm with you. I'm not a Basil Hayden guy. I had a bottle. I actually use it to cook with.
Yeah.
I would like, if I'm smoking something on the smoker,
yeah,
I'll put a little bit of that in it. And so, but I've known of several people that love this stuff. It is their go-to all the time, and that's great. I will leave it for you on the shelves.
Yeah, and I even thought, well, maybe I'm drinking the wrong Basil Hayden, and I think they had some sort of rye or something, and I couldn't finish my pour, and that's sad. So, just not a fan. I'm not going to buy it again.
Yeah.
All right, we'll just keep ruffling some feathers. So this is Angel's Envy Finish Rye, and this is a rye finished in Caribbean rum cask. I've had some other Angel's Envy. It's okay. Again, I think there's a hype story going on here.
Yes.
I just didn't like this.
Yeah, and I'm on the same boat with you. Angel Envy to me is just okay, and I've been to the distillery. It's a cool tour. If you have a chance, take the tour. But everything they do is it's a finished. Everything's finished.
And it's expensive.
It's very expensive.
Now, the good thing about the Basil Hayden, at least if you're going to buy that, you're not going to break the bank.
Right.
And even that Genie bottle, Willet, it's not crazy.
No.
But the rest of these are like, why are they so expensive?
They're pricey, yeah.
And I don't get that. All right, so the next one I just don't like is Weller Antique 107. And again, a Buffalo Trace product. This is another one. This is kind of like the Elmer T. Lee, and I think this is not exclusively a theme with Buffalo Trace, but it is a more common story with Buffalo Trace, where they have these things like the Elmer T. Lee, the Weller products, etc., that they're hard to find.
Oh yeah, you're chasing.
And when you do find them, you're probably paying some significant markup or some sort of secondary price. And, again, I think I probably got this Weller at the same time I got the Elmer T. Lee. I just was so disappointed, especially considering what I paid for it.
I was going to say, I've seen this on secondary for $2,250. And
it's not that good.
It's not $2,250.
No. Again, it's like a $40, maybe a $50 bottle, maybe. So some of that weighs in when you sip on something. Like if you didn't know what it costs, you might not think about it. But it's just not one I'm going to try to find again.
No, I'm not.
And some people love that.
They love this stuff and they chase it. And
they do chase
conversations
it.
on.
And I get it. If you find something you like, that's all. It's up to you.
Yeah.
Drink what you enjoy for sure. But for me, I'm just not doing it.
Yeah, and there's the good thing about the bourbon. There's enough people out there that like all 6 of these bottles out there that they keep producing.
They do.
And so,
and if you've watched stuff we put out, we can identify. I don't know. If we had to, probably a good 50 bottles that you can find every day.
Every single day of the week
that are going to be just as good, if not better, in many cases. You know?
Now there's a bottle up here that you don't have, and I don't have it with me today, that I would never buy again.
Yeah.
And somebody will probably write us hate mail, address it to John.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take it.
It is the Evan Williams green white label bottled and bond.
See, I like that one though.
So you can get it for under 20. It's cheap, under 20.
Yeah, but it was. I agree to a point, because when you introduced me to the Evan Williams 1783, I mean, you're talking about pretty much the same price.
Yeah.
But the flavor is way deeper and more complex on the 1783.
In the bottle and bond, I use it for cooking.
Yeah,
and it's great for that. Except I don't know what it was. I don't know if it.
I mean, it's a single note. It's pretty flat. There's not a lot of depth to it.
Yeah, but I know people that love that stuff.
I mean, I enjoy it, but I'm using it for a mixer. I'm not using it for a sipper necessarily.
Yeah. And I think a lot of the stuff that I'm using for mixers at this point in my bourbon life is stuff that I would drink even without.
Yeah.
And so,
I mean, to a point. I mean, you're not probably putting that Penelope Architect in a mixed drink, but which always makes me laugh if you go to like a bar and somebody's like, "Oh, give me the top shelf bourbon and make an old fashioned." I'm like,
why would you do that? I don't. Yeah.
But anyway,
But no, this is a good.
I got one more.
Oh man,
this one's gonna the
Here
last
we
one.
Go.
All right, this is a
You're
bottle.
gonna get punched right in the mouth.
This is a bottle I would not buy again, and this is like probably one of, if not the most famous bourbons probably in the world today.
Yeah.
I mean, Pappy's probably maybe just as famous for different reasons.
And I do like Blanton's.
Well, I don't mind it.
Yeah.
And I do like Blanton's did. So Blanton's is a Buffalo Trace product.
Yeah.
I mean, you might notice a theme here. There's a few things from Buffalo Trace. And I like Buffalo Trace. I think they put out good products. I just don't understand the game, or I understand the game. I just don't like the game they play with those of us who are bourbon enthusiasts on some of the products.
Mm-hmm.
And the Blanton's is an example. I mean, they were the first, I think, brand to be a single barrel.
That's true.
And it's a cool bottle, and it's got the horses, and each horse has a different letter, blah, 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 all that sort of thing, and it's good. It really is good. But there's no reason. I don't understand why this is so hard to find. I mean, they've created the artificial supply and demand, the hype, and maybe that's the whole reason for it. I mean, we're talking about it today. It is good, but I bought this at they had it on the shelf, behind the register, and it had the secondary price on it. And at the time, even today, you can't find Blanton's most places.
No.
And if you do, it's going to be at least probably $150.
Yeah.
And that's what I have a problem with. It's not what's inside. It's not $150 bourbon.
It's not.
It's a $50 bourbon at best.
Yeah.
Probably a 35. I mean, it's a 93 proof.
It's 93 proof.
Now, if it was barrel strength, now we
correct, and they have a barrel strength.
Yeah, and that's even more expensive.
Yeah, it's even more expensive, even harder to find.
Yeah,
and probably your best bet to find that is to go down to Buffalo Trace and be there on one of the days.
Well, you got to roll the dice.
That's right. You're rolling the dice.
Every day they're putting something out, and you might be there the day they put that out. But I don't know. Like I said, I know some people, like there are people that are fanatical about their Whistle Pigs and their Angel's Envy and their Wellers and blends. To me, these are just not bottles I'm looking for anymore. I got them. I overpaid for most or few of them, and I was disappointed, especially considering what I paid for it. So, any other thoughts?
No, I mean, I'm not all that surprised by what you've had out here. Just conversations we've had in the past. I kind of wondered if this was going to make an appearance because
It
you
did.
kind of mentioned it.
I've had that forever.
Yeah, you've had it for a long time.
I've had most of these for longer than I should, but I just can't pour even bad whiskey down the drain.
No.
So sometimes somebody comes over
and
then somebody will sip on it and it'll be fine.
That's right.
Anyway, appreciate y'all tuning in. What do you think? Is this a terrible list? Are there other things that you would say, hey, don't buy this because, X, Y, and Z? Share your thoughts and your comments. Happy to hear back from all of you all and appreciate y'all tuning in.
Thank you.
Thanks.